Yo, what's going on, BroTalk Nation, man? It's your boy Eric here, man. Got my brother Jamarcus on tonight. And man, it's going to be another great episode, man. I feel this one, man. I got a little bounce in me tonight, man, because it feels so good, man. And, man, I know God about to do his thing on this one. So, y'all know the routine, man. If y'all out there, like, love, share, subscribe, hit the YouTube channel, hit the Instagram channel, TikToks, Facebook, Twitch. You can find us everywhere, man. Come get some of this good living water, man. And man, we got a word, man. We got a word. And when I say, oh my God, we got a word. So I'm gonna get out the way, let God do what He's do with my brother. Bro, what we got tonight?
Man, what's going on, BroTalk Nation, man? Man, I'll just like to say, man, God, thank you for giving us this platform to do what we do. Man, I'm feeling really good, man. E led this thing off with a prayer, man, that woke up a spirit already. And that's why we kind of like hype right now. And man, it's good. It always feels good to, know God gave you another day to do your purpose, do what He needs you to do for the kingdom. So man, I'm feeling really good, feeling really happy to be here with y'all, man. Thank y'all for hopping on. Thank y'all for always doing what y'all doing. Like E said, man, hit that subscription button, hit that bell to get the old content, to get the new content. But man, yes, we are. Oh man, we in this series. If you did not catch last episode, we're in a new series called It's Building. And last week we dove into Noah, and we dove into follow the instructions. Do you know how to follow instructions? And we talked about how Noah got specific instructions on how to build the ark, and he had to do it, line by line. If he didn't, then everything that God wanted to be saved would not have been saved in the ark. So, like, are you following instructions? But tonight, man, shout out to my boy David Settle, better known to the streets of Houston as DJ S, and his lovely friend and my sis Queen Dell for this word, this title that y'all see going across. If y'all haven't followed them, please go on and follow David Settle on Instagram, Queen Dell's on Instagram, Facebook, and he has a podcast in Houston on 92.1 Praise Houston every Saturday morning. And this last episode was amazing. I don't really want to tell the story. You can go on there and listen to it, but just know it was two godly people talking out of grace and love. And my sis said something that was very powerful, and I got a word from it, and I use it for the title. And that's what you see going across for tonight's episode. Nothing works but work. And if we're talking about something being built, work has to be put in for something being built. So shout out to those two for the amazing podcast, and shout out to my sis for giving me this word for nothing works but works. But bro, I had to hit this thing, bro. I had to go in definition mode. I went in Google.
Let's get it.
I went in Google mode. A lot of people do not know the real definition of the word work, but I'm here to give that to y'all. Because we not only spiritual like givers, we philosophers out here. So we got to teach the world on like definitions. And I'll give y'all the real definition of the word work. I'm gonna give y'all the noun and the verb. The work definition noun is an activity involving physical or mental. That's key right there. Physical or mental effort done in order to achieve purpose or results. That's the noun definition, bro. Then you get the verb definition to be engaged in a physical or mental, that's key right there, or
Man.
mental activity in order to achieve results or purpose. So work is can be physical, but it also can be mental. And the whole goal of it is so you can achieve a result or purpose. So nothing works but work, right? That's where we are right now. And bro, I'm gonna turn it over to you right there to get a little how you feel about like the beginning of this before I give like the verse, and then we start diving in this thing, bro.
Man, perfect, bro.
Yeah.
Perfect, man. And I love how God speaks to me, man. So my brother just gave y'all the definition of what the word work means. Now, a lot of us associate the word work with something that's negative.
Mm,
Lord, I don't feel like going to work today.
mm.
Lord, the folks at work gonna get on my nerves,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
So, like when Monday hit, the one thing we regret the most is we gotta go to work.
Oh,
But
thank God.
how God does it, right?
Yeah.
See, everything the enemy everything God implements, the enemy gonna try to change it up, right? He gonna try to make you not like what's going on. He's gonna try to take away some of the key building pieces to how God operates in your life. And if y'all not looking at the title, nothing works but work. You have to put the work in order to get a result. For all the
Right.
gym membership people, hey, how y'all doing? Yeah, I'm coming to y'all. Not body shaming, but what I'm saying is, in order for you to get that image in your head mentally, as my brother just told y'all, is mental too. You have a mental picture, but you also got to put that work in. You
Mm.
have a spiritual mental picture for your life. But God said in the Bible, faith without works is dead.
Oh, that's
Let's
good.
go.
That's good, bro. You already kicked this. You
Let's
gonna go
go.
there early, dude? Like you
Let's
already
go.
kicked this out. I love how you made that. How you made that like that picture form, because like you said, a lot of people see work as a bad thing. Like, oh my god, man,
Yeah.
I don't feel like going to work. Oh man, I didn't partied all weekend. Now I have to go to
To
work.
go to work.
But like
Yeah.
we have these things that we want, but we don't want to work, or we don't want to put in the work for to get them. Like we want these things in our spiritual lives. Like, God, I want to be better at this. God, I want to give up pornography. God, I want to do better in my marriage. But are you willing to put in the work? Because
Yeah.
nothing works but work. Man, that's good,
There
bro.
we
You
go.
already there. All
Let's
right.
get it.
So the verse for tonight, right? I'm gonna put it up in the chat so y'all can see it. It's Matthew 21-16. All right. I am going to read this in Jamarcus version, the best I can. Because yeah, I'm gonna read this in the JLT, Jamarcus Living Translation. All right, but that is the verse, and this is literally Jesus doing what he does best, preaching, giving a parable. Right. It starts off by
Mhm.
saying, "For the kingdom of heaven is like a landowner who went out early in the morning to hire workers for his vineyard. He agreed to pay them in denaries for the day and sent them into his vineyard. About 9 in the morning, he went out, saw some people chilling, standing around, not doing nothing. So he told them, hey, you go work in my vineyard and I'll pay you whatever is right. So they went, not asking questions. He went out again about noon and about 3, and he did the same thing. Then he went out again at 5, and he saw some people still standing around not doing nothing. He even asked them, why have you been here all day doing nothing? They said, because no one hired us. So he said, you know what? I got you. Go work in my vineyard too. When evening came, the owner told his boy, hey, man, call everybody in. It's time to cut checks with everybody, give them their wages. But I want you to do this different. I want you to begin with the last ones hired. This is very key right here. Pay attention. I want you to begin with the ones that are hired last, the people that are hired at 5 and going on to the first. The workers who were hired at 5 in the afternoon came in, received a check, and was like, "Ooh, all right, I got paid. So it's all right, cool." Then the other people who got hired first came in and was mad because they got paid the same amount of money that the people who got put on late got passed, right? So they
Mhm.
started to grumble. These who were hired last worked only 1 hour, they said. You made them equal to us who have been borne the burden of work and the heat of the day. But he answered one of them, am I not being unfair to you, friend? Didn't you agree to work for whatever pay that I gave? Take your pay and go. Go. I want to give the one who was hired last the same as you. Don't I have the right to do with my own money? Or are you envious because I'm generous? This part right here is an important part. Know that Jesus was trying to say, so the last will be first and the first will be last. Man, it's good potato in it. I
Let's
want you
get
to
it.
know, E,
Let's get it.
if you Google this verse, there is tons of stuff and like scholars talking about this verse, about what
Mm-hmm.
it mean. It's like people talking about, is Jesus talking about paying people for child labor? I'm like, I ain't reading none of that in that. He was talking about, like, is Jesus like talking about people shouldn't be paid right? I don't know what
Mm-hmm.
they got from it, but tonight we're gonna talk about what I got from it, and we're gonna dive into this little bit, right? So I need y'all to know the first thing, a little bit about it. Honest work is what God calls from all of us to be doing. Honest work, right? But we must keep faith in mind. This leads to great things he has planned for us. So God is always seeking honest work from us, not just any work, but in your work, he's asking for you to keep it honest, keep faith in it. Because if you keep faith and honesty in your work, great things are going to come from it, right?
Mm-hmm.
First point that I wanted to talk about, bro, in this thing, and it's in the first beginning, is for it says, for the kingdom of heaven is like a landowner who went out early in the morning to hire workers, right? It made me start thinking about point one, the hiring process. Like
Mm-hmm.
when you're going on a job, like the hiring process. See, first you need to have confidence that God even wants you to work in the vineyard, or he
Mm-hmm.
wants you to work in the kingdom. Like you got to
Mm-hmm.
have confidence that God needs you there. I talked about this before, like before this podcast even started. I didn't even want to do none of this. Like I didn't even want to come back to God. When E tells it, I told E
Yeah.
like, nah, I'm not ready. Like I need to read the Bible. I got to get up to date. Bro, like my life is still in shambles. My marriage is still, we still shaky. Um, I know I got some skills to talk, and I know
Mm-hmm.
God talked to me, but I don't think it's good enough to be working in your vineyard. I don't think it's good enough to be working on your job. I don't think that the skills you gave me, that you blessed me with, I don't think it's good enough to go catch fish or go on a podcast and talk. See, you got to have confidence even when you going through the trials and tribulations, even when you're still working on yourself, that the skills God gave you is enough for you to do work where he's trying to hire you at. Like that's what we started on
Mm-hmm.
right now, bro. Because in that first verse, he went out early to hire workers. So are you
Mm-hmm.
ready for the hiring process to start? Because if you ain't ready for that, you ain't even gonna get to the work. Oh man. Oh yeah, we on one, bro.
I,
On one.
I see you. I see you. I it's so much. It's so much in that verse, man.
Yeah,
And
bro.
the hiring process is key. Like to even know that you qualify, you're worthy, right? I don't know about y'all, but if God said I was qualified to do something, I like that reference, right? Like
Mm.
for those that go into
Ooh.
like the more professional realm, like you got to have on your resume, you're gonna turn in your resume, right? Your resume is your life story,
Mm.
right? That's your past. Like my brother was telling y'all, he thought he needed to update his resume
Mm.
before he started the job. But see, when God is your best reference, you gonna always get hired for work.
That's
But
good.
but this is like the loving grace of God. Your start date is determined by you.
Oh, that's good.
When you gonna start the work, right? We saw that Jesus went out what 5 times, and people were still standing out there like 3 o'clock. Like, hey, why y'all just standing here? Like, why are you not doing anything? Like,
Mm.
you have purpose.
Yeah.
Why you not? I like to think that Jesus was asking, why are you not in purpose right
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
now? Right? And so he said, okay, since you don't know your purpose, let me just move you over here. Go into the vineyard. See, he didn't give them instructions in what to do in the vineyard. He just told them to go.
Just
The
wanted to
work
get.
is waiting for you,
That's good, bro.
right? So, hey, for all those that were like my brother, that was like me, because I didn't want to do this either. God gave me an idea, and I just said, okay, cool. It sounds good. If God is giving you something so strong, 150 million times from 150 different people, it's time to go to work. There's no doubt about it. You are hired. You got the position.
Yeah.
Your reference was already verified. It is time to go to work. We don't need your resume. We don't need the changes. We know about your past, but that ain't the time for you to tell us about to read your resume to us. We're going to see that on your walk. We're going to see that on your journey. So it is time to get to work, man. Let's go.
Bro, I'm gonna shout out Valerie Collins on this with my mom, man. Every time I used to get a job, my mom has this thing. I used from the first time I filled out an application working at McDonald's, I was filling out my application and she was like, let me see what you filled out. And I'm like, oh, my name. I was like, experience, I put 0. She was like, what? Whoa. She was like, why would you put none on there? I was like, Mom, I never worked at McDonald's. This is my first job. I have no experience on a job. My mom said, son, do you know for my entire life working, I have lied on every application. When it asks me experience, I always put I have a year of experience. She said, because when you get on a job, they're going to train you anyway. She said, you just need to get in the building.
That's
so
cool.
it made me started thinking when you start talking about the resume and that God sent them over there. He didn't give them instructions. He just wanted them to get in the vineyard. Why? Because he was about to give them on the job training on what needed to be done. But see, if they would have denied even going in the vineyard, they would have never got on the job training. They would have never started working. So what I'm trying to tell you is this. You don't need what you think you need to get the job done. God just needs you to start working. He about to give you on the job training. And plus, everything you done before then is experience enough to get hired. See, I was thinking that, nah, man, the people, they don't need to hear none of this. Everybody needed to hear everything I went through so that they can see and be like, well, why are you at? Well, where are you at now? God. Hey, man, how you got the fancy car and all that? It's because of the job I'm on. It's because of why? Who I work for. See, that's the thing that you need to say. The same way the company wants the accolades and they want to be all that, God wants that. He's waiting for you just to get in the vineyard. You could come out with your check and be like, man, hold on, where you get that big check from? Oh, man, hey, they hiring down there. I'm talking about they looking for all type of people to get on. God is just trying to get you in the vineyard. Don't worry about the experience and all that. He just trying to get you in there. He about to give you the OJT you need to get the job done, bro. Like, it's so good you started pointing out the resumes and the references and who you working on. And my mom popped in my head about that experience. She was like,
"You
gonna get it." Bro, like another thing that like caught my eye about this one too is, they have so many companies now on like how to get hired. Like one of the top ones is Indeed, right? Like Indeed is so cool because job employers will come looking for you on Indeed. They will, but you got to make sure all your information is correct.
Yeah.
Like if your name is wrong, they can't find you. If your stuff ain't updated, then they don't know what you really got. Like, that was another thing that you got to make sure that's important in this hiring process. You got to make sure your information is correct. We talk about it all the time. Like, hey, that passed me, man. You looking at the wrong address. Like, did you update your information? Because this right here lets you know that God sometimes is walking out looking for people. He's looking to put you in places to work at. But if your information ain't updated, if your information is not correct, you can miss getting placed on the job because your stuff ain't up to date. So that was like something very important else that I wanted to touch on, bro. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
make sure your information is correct during this hiring process, right?
yeah, yeah.
Like, bro, crazy.
Hey, it's it is crazy, man. Like how they how God gonna find you if you still the same? Like you still trying to be the same old you, and God
Yeah.
is looking for the person that already went through the pain and the breakthrough.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as He hire you, like you trying not to, like, how do you not accept a job from God? Like, and I'm not talking from a place of like I know more than anybody. I've told God no to a job so many times.
Yeah.
And I think about it because, like, what if I would have just accepted it? Like, I don't know. Here's the thing: whenever you got a job, you didn't know what you were doing,
Mm-hmm.
right? You said your mom, she lied on every application. She didn't know what she was doing, but she knew she would get training,
Yeah.
right? So why is it that we don't understand the same thing with God? God wants us to change our life. He's brought us through so many different things, and now when he introduced this new position for us, we get scared.
Oh, that fear.
Like, you can't get afraid of work,
Yeah. Oh,
right?
that's
You can't get afraid of work. Your work is you're working to produce something,
mm,
right? You're working to produce the fruit of your labor, right? When you go to work for that check, it benefits your kids. When you go to work for God, it benefits your kids. Y'all see where I'm going with this?
yeah.
Like, you can't be afraid. You can't say I'll go to work every day for a check, but I won't go to work for God. Like, that's the person that's providing your resources. It ain't the job that hired you. God opened that position so you could get it.
Yeah.
So don't skip. Don't think Indeed is doing a thing or the talent scout or God did that. He highlighted you out of the thousands of people that reported for that job, that submitted a resume.
That's good.
Yours was the one that he wanted. So when he calls you to say, "Hey, I sent you out there to go get that job, but now I got something I need you to do," right? Now the real work begins. Hey, I know you at that job, and I put you around on people that were gonna treat you bad. But the work I need you to do is to work on your heart.
Mm.
I need you to work on your mouth right now. Because I know they disrespecting you, but I don't need you to do that. I'll take care of it.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
I need you to work on your heart because those people remind you of your past pain.
Ooh.
See, the
Oh,
real
that's
work, see,
that's
the real work begins. You think you getting hired and put in these positions. No, God is putting you precisely in position so that now the real work can begin. Your
yeah.
heart, your mind, your mouth, etc. Let's go.
That's good, bro. Like I'm literally about to turn this right back over to you because I'm just gonna talk about little about something you just said. Like
Yeah, yeah.
you said, like the work is producing like fruit for whatever you're working for, right? And I need
Mhm.
y'all to understand like how he's talking about you work and then you get the check and that's for that whatever work you doing, you're trying to produce something. If you're working on yourself and in the word, you're trying to get peace and joy and happiness.
Mhm.
But like you said something at the end, bro, that was like very, very important. Like, do you know what you're working for? Like, do you know what
Mhm.
you're working for? Like, God is putting you in these positions because all work leads to the kingdom. Like,
Man.
it's all gonna work for the kingdom. So you got put on that job, and you're like, God, like, why would you put me here with all these people that I got a
Man.
mouth and I'm a disrespect because work needs to get done. Like he put
Yes,
you in
sir.
a spot because he knew you have a problem, but you asked God, you prayed to God, help me with my tongue. So what do? He put you in a spot where he know your tongue is gonna lash out, but you ask for it because he know you need to work on it. And if you work
Yeah.
on it and if you succeed in here, it helps the kingdom because
Yeah,
now
yeah.
somebody's gonna come back and be like, hey man, I lashed out at you, and this is the first time no one lashed back out at me, and I apologize. Like
Mm,
you got somebody. Like then they gonna
mm.
say, "Hey man, like why didn't you lash back out?" And all you gonna say is because I've been praying that God helps me with my tongue. Hey, can you send me a verse and help me out? Boom, hook sinker. You got another one in
Man.
the kingdom. And you ain't even know what you was doing. You just thought you was going there for a check. And God is saying, nah, I'm bringing you in for the kingdom because your talents, your gifts is what they needed here. It ain't you.
Mm,
It's the gifts that I gave you that needed
yes,
you to
sir.
get there, bro. I'm gonna turn
Yes,
it right back
sir.
over to you because I want you to go further in, bro, because we
Yeah.
were talking about what you update, and we spoke about this yesterday about how you were talking about like the heart and the mind is connected and how
Oh
we
man.
do those things, right?
Yeah.
And we need to update those things, bro. So I wanted you to touch a little bit more on
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Tell them about like what we were talking about, bro. Break
Oh
that down,
man.
man.
Bro, that was I'm gonna tell y'all, man. So in case y'all didn't know, me and my brother, we started Bro Talk, and our first episode was, man, you need counseling. Right. So
Very, very simple.
came to San Antonio, got a counselor first time in my life, right? So now I'm in counseling, right? And I'm gonna tell y'all, counseling, if nobody is getting counseling, I'm telling y'all, we
Yeah,
all need it for our mental health. Like,
big
I need
facts.
y'all I'm putting this on big blast alert. Like, go get counseling. I don't care if you are good, go get counseling, right? So I'm in my counseling session, man, and me and my counselor talking, and she was telling me, I was telling her about, the things that I was going through, me and my son, mom, and stuff like that. And she was like, breaking down things like letting energies just flow off of you, what I'm saying? Don't let that energy sink in. And she pointed something out that it was very profound to me. And if y'all didn't know, there are two things in the body that have brain cells: your brain, and the other one is your heart.
Mm,
If your brain or your mind has mess in it, mess is going to pour out in your heart.
that's
If
good.
your heart, if your heart is hardened towards somebody, then your thought process towards that person is going to be hardened. So, and we've done episodes about the heart posture, the heart matters, the whole heart, right? So, if the two are connected, and God said, "Be renewed in your mind," and He also says, "Be what's in your heart is going to come out through your mouth," then
Mm,
that means you got to make sure that you working these two together.
mm,
They are not one thing. They're not separated. No, the mind and the heart have to agree,
that's
right?
good.
And when they agree on something, that's when you start to see the change. God sent me here to San Antonio. My heart wasn't with it. My mind wasn't with it. I'm telling y'all right now. But He had to do some things to me. He had to start changing my heart posture towards people,
Yeah, yeah,
and letting people in to even for me to even tell my story.
yeah,
And that led to my brother saying, "Well, dang, I don't have to get saved. I don't have to update my resume or make it, updated to 2022. I need to just go ahead and go to work." And then the work started. And I was like, "Okay, all right, God. Well, you did that. God, hey, keep doing your thing." And He continued to put y'all can go back through the episodes and hear the whole story, but He put me in a place where it just felt like I kept getting attacked by things. So my heart was getting right, but my mind, I was like, nah, I'm about to be at your front door. See,
yeah,
I'm going back to the old area mentally, but my heart is saying, "Hey man, just let it go. I got you." But my mind is like, "Nah, bro, we don't do that. We don't do disrespect. So let's
yeah,
go get them." And so it wasn't until my heart and my mind got in agreement. And I said, "You know what, God, you put me here for a reason. So I gotta do the work. I gotta let it go. I gotta let you take care of it. Like, my weak points is I like control. I like controlling my life. When I don't have control, then I don't know what to do. My life is chaotic."
that's good.
So the work had to start. The work had to begin. And once it did, man, look, I'm tell y'all, if y'all don't go back to episode 1 to now and hear so many new blessings, so many like guests that we brought on and they've gotten blessings from this podcast, and just individually in our lives, to
Yeah.
see how everything has came to fruition and God is still moving, we had to go to work.
Yeah.
And I'm telling y'all, you can't turn down your assignment.
Yeah.
Let's go, bro.
Bro, that's so good, man. I wanted everybody to hear that, man, because yesterday, man, like we were just like I was sitting there listening, and I was like, man, that's so crazy because we never really want to admit that our heart talks. We never want to like really admit. We'll just be like, oh, that's on my mind. That's why I'm saying that. Nah, that's coming from your heart too.
Yeah.
And man, like I can give like a little like testimony on that. My mom would tell me like, nah, man, like your dad trying to rebuild this relationship. We ain't doing it. Nope, we're not doing it. My my heart would say, yeah, I still love him, but my mind would be like, nope, remember when he did this? Nope, don't do it. Remember when he left with it? Don't do it. And I don't know if y'all ever
Man.
been through this or anybody else can been through like felt this. When your heart and mind is fighting each other, you are you're never at peace. And
No.
no matter what I was doing,
No.
I
Yeah.
just never could squeeze peace. It was, I could read the
Powerful.
Bible, I could
Yeah.
meditate, I could be doing all this, and my mind and heart was fighting each other, and I never got peace. And this is what we're talking about tonight. Nothing
Mm-hmm.
works but work. Until I started putting in true work, going to counseling, writing down my boundaries, writing down my like people I can reach out to, being transparent with my wife, telling people how I really feel, telling my dad how everything made me feel. Until
Yeah.
I start putting in real work
Yeah.
is when I started seeing peace. Because that internal battle between like your heart and your mind,
Yeah.
it's always
Whew.
chaotic. Everything is just like it's just up in the air, man.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when you were talking about that, bro, like I wanted to share that with everybody because
Yeah.
they don't like a lot of people really don't know that when your mind and heart are fighting each other, man, you'll never
Man.
find it. You'll never get that peace.
Battle.
I'll
Whew.
give you. I mean, we talk about it all the time, and I don't like going there so much, but
Mm-hmm.
Jesus had this going on too in the garden. His
Yeah.
mind and heart, man, like he was literally screaming to God, saying, "Hey, like, man, take this cup. These dudes is asleep outside, and these supposed to be the people I'm supposed to die for." Like he went out
Man.
more than once, and you could tell his heart was like he was in it, but his mind was like, "Nah." And he had to pray for it. He had to
Yeah.
like he had to put
Yeah.
in work. That prayer
Yeah.
was work right there. So much
Yeah.
work that he was bleeding out his
Yeah.
eyes, the Bible said. So like this is
Yeah.
nothing new. Like nothing new, but you got to put in that work because nothing works but work, bro. Like
Yeah.
man, that's so good,
Yeah.
bro. That's
Yes,
so good.
sir.
Bro,
Yes,
like
yeah.
another part of this is of this verse, and I'm gonna touch on a little bits of it. I love how it started off, how it says about 9 in the morning he went out.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was 9 in the morning,
Early.
early in the game.
Yeah.
And that's so important to me because you need to know that this means God is coming early in the hiring process. He's coming
Mm.
early in your journey. He's trying to get to you early
Mm.
in your journey. A lot of
Okay.
us, I sit back sometimes, and I know God has this thing planned out, but I sit back and I reminisce over the moments I knew God was trying to get at me in my life.
Mm.
I can go back and remember times where God was knocking on the door, where God was saying, Jamarcus, don't make this mistake. Jamarcus, here's a way out. Jamarcus, don't do this. Like he was trying to get at me early. But me,
Mm-hmm.
I was like these people. I was standing in the wrong places, or I
Mm.
wasn't hearing him when he was trying to hire me. I was
Yeah.
still trying to do my own thing. I was in the
Yeah.
street doing my own hustle. And God
Yeah.
had a better job lined up for me over here with better work, but I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
hearing it, bro. Like that was something last I wanted to touch on the hiring process, like how God comes early in your journey, bro. Like, did he ever
Yeah.
hit like early on yours? Like, do you remember the times where he was like, Eric,
Man.
now hiring? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yo, man, we talked about that, man, on past podcasts, bro. And I'm gonna tell y'all like this. This is my interpretation of God's hiring process.
Yeah.
If He saves you from anything more than once, He's hiring. He letting you know.
Yeah.
Like I can remember so many times of drinking and falling asleep, or being in situations and gunshots ring out, and you know what I'm saying, like being in bad situations in the wrong places at the wrong time, like, and it just got to a point where he like when I say he sent like a big bulletin at me, it was like, hey, this is your flesh burn.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm letting you know I'm hiring. If you don't want to accept the job, this is the job you're gonna have for the rest of your life. Your flesh is burning. That's you going to hell. So, that was a wake up call, and I was like, you know what? I need a job. But I didn't know what I was getting into. I
Yeah.
had no clue, right? And a lot of time along that journey, I was still inexperienced.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he's hiring you early for your inexperience so that he can teach you. Like I don't God don't want you where you still think you know it all. You
Yeah.
done been on this job so long that you don't even follow the instructions, and you know so much that you don't know that the processes have changed. They've been updated,
Yeah.
right? You still operating on Windows 7. We on 10 and 12 right now, right? So he's gonna find you early in that process so that, because think about it like this, and man, it's like how God gives me things. If you wanted to harm a person, at what point in their life do you harm them? When they're a baby, or when they're like 38?
Infant stage.
Infancy, the beginning, early,
Yeah.
right? So it's the same way. If I want you to go to work for me so that you can get my understanding and not your own, I'm gonna call you early in this journey. See, I'm gonna catch you as soon as you coming out of something. And where you think life is just all good, nope, I'm gonna put you right here. So now I can get you to get to work.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take you out of a place of happiness, and then I'm gonna put you right back in something where now we got to work on some other things about yourself.
Yeah. That's good.
See, it's that infancy stage of the hiring process where the good work starts. And if you are willing, because God ain't gonna force himself on y'all. He
Yeah.
ain't he ain't like chasing you for this job. He gonna let you know a couple times, but it's gonna come a time where he gonna be like, all right, cool, you got it. Don't work for the enemy right now then. And
Yeah.
watch
Yeah.
how he tear your life down. And then you gonna come crawling back to me. Hey God, you still hiring?
The job available.
The job available? But see, that's when that good grace comes in, man. And he'll just, hey, come on in, man. You ready now. Right?
Yeah.
So
That's very important, bro, because I know I done came back crawling plenty of times. Like, God, hey, man, you still got that work that you needed done, man. I'll do it for anything now. At that point, you're desperate, and that's where God wants you at. He wants you desperate, like
yeah,
crawling back to him, submitting to him. And it's okay to be there. Like we talked about this on the last episode, did that it's okay to be in that middle ground. Like it's
yeah.
okay for that. And
Hmm.
that submitting, that desperate, it's okay to be there. Because no matter what, God loves you so much, nothing can separate his love for you, that he's gonna show you grace and get you
Hmm.
back hired on. Like, man,
Yeah.
that's an important part, bro. Something else that I want to touch in this verse was it it had me laughing that it said about 5 in the afternoon he went out and found some others still standing around, and he had to ask them like, bro, y'all still standing out here doing nothing? That part had me tripping because I'm just imagining, like, the dude, the landowner coming out like at 5, like it's almost the end of the day, and y'all ain't got hired yet. Y'all ain't found no work. It
Man.
gave me to my second point, bro, that
Hmm.
you hear this all the time. Closed mouths don't get fed.
What?
Like, because it it makes me think like They came out at 9, came out at 12, came in at 3. You had to see or hear this man looking for workers. And
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you kept your mouth closed, you
Yep.
did not get fed. You missed out on good work, right?
Man.
Like, why didn't they say anything when he came around the first time?
Yeah.
But because they didn't speak up, they missed good work with the landowner.
Yeah.
Because you didn't speak up, you missed good work with God. Like, what in your life did you not speak up on and you
Mm-hmm.
missed something? You
Yeah.
missed good work. Like, where in your life did that happen? Like, was it on the marriage? Like, was it on the job? Was it with your finances, with your kids? Was it with you? Was it with counseling? Like, where in your life that you stayed standing there watching other people get work? Like, man, and I know it's happening because I've seen it done. I've
Yeah.
seen people who were
Yeah.
going through things starting to go get work with God, and I just stood there. I was like, nah, it ain't my time to get hired yet. Nope,
Mm.
I'm good. I'm gonna continue standing here on this block doing nothing,
Yeah. Yeah.
hoping for something. That's what I
Yeah.
was doing.
Yeah.
On the block doing nothing, hoping for something. And I could have spoke up and got hired early. Like,
Yeah.
this is the things that you want to catch on, bro. So, like, that's where I'm at on now. And how I know this is so true is because I found another verse, Proverbs 12:11, that says, those who work their land will have abundant food, but those who chase fantasies have no sense.
Man.
Wow.
Man.
So it made me started
All
thinking,
right, God.
was these people that was standing there and didn't get hired until 5? They was out there chasing fantasies. They were
Man.
saying, you know what? I see this man hiring for a vineyard job. That ain't what I need. I'm waiting to get put on at the steel shop. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
got no references.
Yeah.
I got no experience there.
Yeah.
I ain't never did nothing with it, but I'm gonna get there though. And you ain't you could have got your experience in the vineyard. You could have got a good reference there to even
Man.
get you on to the steel yard. But you
Yeah.
want to start there, and God is trying to start you here. See, you already want to get there, and God is saying you got work that got to get done here
Yeah.
before I even
Yeah.
get you there. Because if I put you in that position, you just gonna get fired, and then you're gonna lose everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, that
That's so good, bro. So,
oh my
hey,
God, bro.
bro, they remind me of people that try to skip the hiring process.
Mm.
Like some people just want to go from the street to VP, the street to CEO, right? You know the job so well that you can tell people "Well, they should be doing it like this, and you never applied for the job.
That's good.
Like you just standing there not operating in purpose. You're wasting time. In my mind, when the employer came back out, he was like, "Why are y'all wasting time right now?
Yes.
If you needed a job, you should have said something. Like
Oh,
it makes no sense that you're standing here and you saw me hire people, but you said nothing. Let me bring that back real quick.
go ahead. Go ahead.
You saw me bless people, but you ain't even open your mouth to ask for one.
That's good.
And not only did I bless someone, I blessed someone close to you that you know and saw
Ooh,
the story,
man, there you go.
but you never asked. In the Bible, it says ask and keep on asking. Asking and shall be given. Asking and keep on asking. Not and like it's simple. Like it's crazy. I'm stopping because y'all gotta go read this stuff, man. Like the word is there. God break. Look, y'all think reading the Bible is like complicated. It's very simple.
Man, I just searched.
Like you can Google it. It's so many ways. You just have to put the work in.
Yeah.
He hiring.
Yeah.
All you got to do, you know what? If you feeling a certain kind of way, God, I'm mad right now. Type in, God, I'm mad. Where can I find it in the Bible?
It's gonna pop.
Or mad Bible. You're
It's gonna,
gonna find the scripture. I'm
that's
telling
right.
you. I do it too, bro. Like, man, I'll go on YouTube. I'm mad. Bible verse, and you'll find it. Like, it's so many different. All you gotta do is open your mouth and
Mm,
ask.
yeah.
It's just like you sit there and you take the time to vent to your friends and your family, and that whole conversation that you had with them, you could have just told God and asked Him, "Help me with this."
Yeah.
That's how great our Father is. All you got to say is two words: "Help me." And for Kevin Hart, that's because that what pops in my mind when I'm saying it to God.
Yeah.
Help me, right? That's all you got to do. Like, I don't know how to change up the words so you can understand it because it's just plain. We did a podcast on this about doors. Y'all looking for this glamorous stuff. It's not glamorous.
Yeah.
Work ain't glamorous. It's dirt.
Yeah.
Getting a job, guess what? If you went to Indeed right now and just looked at it, you would never get a job.
Mm,
If you went to Glassdoor, Monster, I don't even know if Monster's still around, but
I don't know.
LinkedIn, and you looked at the job and you never hit apply, you will never get the job.
Yeah.
If you need help in your personal life because you still hurt from something that happened to you when you were a child, if you never ask for help, nothing will ever change.
That's good, bro. That's good. Like you made it, like you said, you started with like them asking for a blessing, but I even go deeper. If you needed me, why didn't you just say
Man,
something?
what?
Like, if you need me, just say something. I done
Man,
came out here at 9. I done came out here at 12. I done came out here at 3. Listen, let me go even deeper. I done came out here when you had a death in the family. I done came out here when you almost had the pregnancy
man.
scare. I done came out here when you
Woo.
needed a job. I done came out here when daddy was gone, mama was gone, when no one was there for you. I done came out here. If you needed me, just say something.
Man.
But closed mouths don't get fed. I could have been blessed you and gave you what you needed, but you never said nothing. I don't know you need me until you call on me. I know you
Mm,
need me, but I want to hear you call on me. God,
man.
can you show up at 9 for me? And he gonna be
Hey,
there.
that's good.
He
Put that
gonna
on the
be
shirt.
there. Can you
Put that on the
show
shirt.
up at 9 for me? And he gonna be waiting right there, ready for you. You know what? You ain't even got to fill out the application because you called on me. I know you
Man.
need a job, so since you called on me, I got you. You know what's crazy? Back in the day, I used to do interviews, and I used to have this thing where if they don't call me the next day, my mama used to be like, "Call them," because then that shows them that you really want the job. There are
Mm.
90 people that they
Come
just
on now.
interviewed, but them people are waiting for them to call back. But if you
Come
call them
on.
and say, "Hey, I had an interview yesterday, and I just wanted to check the status on it," because I really feel like I can do great on this job. You just left an impression on the hiring person. So how many of
Man.
y'all pray and say, God, I need you to show up on 9, and then the next day before 9, say, hey, God, I'm just trying to see. I still need you. It's a new day,
Woo.
but I
Come
still
on, man.
need you. God gonna
Come
say, you
on.
know what? I'm glad you retouched back with me. That wasn't just a simple prayer. You really need me, so I'm here today. Like, I'm trying to get y'all to understand. He was just wondering, was he like, why y'all ain't never say nothing? But like you always say, E, you know what? God loves us. Just because I love you, I'm still gonna show up. I'm gonna
Man.
come out again at 5 because I knew it was still gonna be some people out here doing nothing. That's why I came out. I could have got the job done. He could get it done. He
Yeah.
don't listen. If you're not there, the job is still gonna get done. But because he loves
Yeah.
us and the
Yeah.
grace is there, I'm gonna go out there again at 5. Cause Jamarcus, he's still needed. He's still,
Man.
bro. That's the crazy part about it.
Yeah.
And now we like we like trying to like wrap this thing up. And I wanted to get this last part because this is the part where I think Christians we get wrong.
Ooh, don't call
This
them out.
right here gonna hurt y'all. The
Don't
real
call them out.
righteous people, this gonna hurt y'all. Because see,
Mm.
y'all, I hope y'all caught the ending part of this. And it gives me my favorite movie with Ricky Bobby. And he said, if you ain't first, you last. And that's what he
Man.
was brought up on. His dad told him that. Later on in the
Mm.
movie, when he met his dad again, his dad said, no, that's dumb. You could be second, you could be third, Ricky. Like there's a lot of numbers after first. But in this point right here, the people who got mad about this was the people that
Mhm.
got hired on first. See, those people right there are the righteous people that's been with God all their lives, who feel like the people like me who caught on late, we shouldn't get the same walk into the kingdom.
Ooh, man.
Yeah. That's y'all. Y'all mad for the ones who are about to get healed and brought in tomorrow.
Yeah,
Those are
yeah.
the ones that y'all are mad at. See, y'all been in the church all y'all life. Y'all know all the scriptures, but y'all are mad at the person that's about to get saved tomorrow, that's about to walk in the church with his pants hanging off, but looking for God, looking to get hired on. You know what's crazy? The people who got hired on first, it didn't even say it in here. They didn't even teach the people that got put on late. They was too
Mm.
busy worrying about what they was about to get paid for. See, you might be too busy
Ooh.
trying to get blessed getting in the kingdom that you don't want to do work with somebody else that got hired on late. And now you mad because y'all about to get equal pay. And
Mm.
God is looking at you like, whoa, wait a minute. I didn't have to hire you in the first place at 9. I could have walked past you and went to the people that I was going to hire at 5 first. But I hired you first because you already had the experience. I expected you to help these people out that I'm hiring on late. See, I'm going out hiring people, and I thought you was going to do some training in the vineyard, but you was only
Mm.
for yourself. Now I know who you are at the end of the day work. I know you're going to complain about them getting paid. See, this is what I'm trying to get out to y'all. This
Mm.
crab in the barrel mentality that we got out here is
Yeah,
starting
yeah.
to affect a lot of people, especially us in the black community, where we're not trying to help each other out. We're not trying to help out people that's going through the same trials and tribulations we're going through. We only want the blessings. We're not trying to spend time with the people in the vineyard. No, I got here, God, I'm good. I'm just trying to get in the kingdom, and that's it. That's all I need to do. But
Yeah.
God, wait a minute. You gave him the blessing before you gave me, and I've been rocking with you all this time. Like, God, like we in season 3 of the podcast, and we not on yet, but somebody else get on, and they got the whole blessings, and God is sitting here like, and you mad at me, and I gave you the platform. I was
Mm.
generous enough to give it to you, and you
Yeah.
mad at me. We got to do
Yeah.
better. We got to do better.
Man.
We should only be happy that everybody coming into the vineyard for work, no matter what time,
Facts.
no matter,
Facts.
let me say this again, no matter
Big facts.
what time they get in the vineyard, as long as they got in the vineyard. Because the more people that get in, the less work you got to do in the vineyard. Man,
Mm.
that's good, bro.
Man. Bro, that last part of the scripture reminds me of what people call in the professional industry gatekeepers, right?
Gatekeeper.
You got people that will block certain people from getting in and will only let a certain few in, like almost like a club. Like you got to know somebody that knows somebody,
Yeah.
right? And what you just said at the end of that, man, if more people get into the vineyard, less work, but you got more people working for the kingdom.
Oh, that's good, bro.
When did we get so so arrogant to say they don't deserve to be in the kingdom?
Mm.
Everybody deserves grace. You
Mm-hmm.
want to know why? I don't care what you did in your life. You deserve grace. I don't care from the killer to the rapist. And I know society would tell you, Eric, you're saying something that's wrong. But I'm not with society. I'm with what God say. Everybody deserves grace. Now it's up to them to accept that grace
Yeah.
and be changed, to be changed in their mind and changed in their heart. Right? So
Yeah.
once they accept that change and accept God in, they ask God for work, then work can be done. They're in the vineyard. You don't get to say who's in it. You ain't so righteous yourself, sister, brother.
Yeah.
You're not so worthy of all this grace that God gives you, because in a blink of an eye, it can be taken from you.
Yeah. That's good.
So we got to be careful with, hey, if they jumped off the porch late, then hey, let's be thankful. Let's celebrate.
Yeah.
Let's celebrate that they came into the vineyard now. I don't care if it was 1 second left on the clock and they had to come into the vineyard at that 1 second. Guess what? It all matters. That's somebody that got saved. That's somebody that changed their life. That's somebody that accepted God into
Yeah.
their life. Does that not matter? See, y'all looking at this work different, man. The work that we got to do is getting other people into the vineyard.
Yeah.
See, you thought work was for a blessing. Nah, you only get blessed when all your work is committed to the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
And if you ain't committing none of your work if you committing your work to your blessings, then you just being selfish. God ain't gonna bless that.
Yeah.
Because see, we have plans in our mind for how things should go. See, the first set of people in that morning that got hired, they had a plan. I'm gonna go over here, I'm gonna plant this amount of seeds, and then I'm gonna go over here, I'm gonna water this amount of seeds, and then I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna harvest this amount of seeds. And guess what? This is my blessing right here. This is how big it should be. And God is like, nah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I ain't blessing none of that. And you sitting there and you crying and you wonder, like, God, why me? Or is me? All this, because your heart and your mind ain't right. See, I put people around you that I needed you to put work into. I needed it. You know how they gonna know me? Through you. There's your work. You didn't show up for your assignment, so I can't pay you for it. If you were a CEO of a company and somebody showed up to work, you already trained the first set of people, and the other people showed up for work. Some new people, new hype, and you did not. And those new people, the first people, did not train the new people. Would you pay them?
Nah,
If they showed up and did no work, would you pay them?
not at all.
So we can't have the expectation for God to work in our lives, change our lives, bless us abundantly, and all this glamorous stuff that the Bible says. Yes, that stuff is true and it will happen, but not without work.
That's good. That's good, bro. I'll end it by saying this because you said something about like grace. First of all, you don't have to work for grace. Jesus already did that work. Jesus did that. That's done. When Jesus died on the cross, grace salvation was already there. That was there. So that means that you are not in control of what grace gets out. We don't have none of that. We are not the ones that say this person can't get grace because they're showing up to the vineyard late. No, that's not how that works. The Bible says for whomsoever. That means everybody. So if you come in the vineyard at 9, or if you come in at 3, or if you come in at 5, Jesus is putting them on the payroll. He's already paid that check. So like you got to understand that. And that's why I wanted to make this so powerful, because that's the part that hit me at the end, was how they was mad about who came in, and Jesus hit them and said, you know what, because of that, so the last will be first and the first will be last.
You're gonna get delayed.
It don't matter. He already got the plan laid out. But because you there first, you need to be training others. You need to be It don't need to be the landowner going to look for the workers. He needs you out there getting it in, bringing them back in. So, bro, like, man, thank you, God, for this one, man, because this one right here,
Yeah,
this
yeah,
this one was powerful, man.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
if you want change in your life, no matter if that's in your marriage, your personal life, spiritual, wherever it may be, nothing works but work. And it, like you said, you gotta get dirty. You gotta get dirty, hands on, dirty. Get ready to go through the mud. Get ready to go through the trenches, like we talked about. You gotta put in work, man.
So good, bro.
That's all I got, boss.
Bro Talk Nation, man, it's been another great one, man. I pray y'all caught all that, man. Put the work in, right? You can't expect blessings in harvest season without no work. It ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. Work without work ain't gonna work.
Big fact.
So understand that, hey man, God gives us grace. Our work is to make sure that, hey, we bringing more people into this vineyard of
Yeah,
His good graces and blessings, and let's all reap the benefits.
yeah,
Let's
yeah,
all rejoice in everything that God is doing in our lives, and not even just our lives, in our families' lives, friends, co-workers, a complete stranger. They come tell you some good news, celebrate God for it,
man.
right? Praise Him for it, man,
Yeah,
because he's letting you know that, hey, I'm hiring. I just hired that person, right? So, hey, let's get to work, man. Let's put the
yeah.
work in. Let's get dirty.
Go,
Hey, until next time, bro. Talk. What he said. I'm a Braves fan. We took care of that last year. Sometime.
go Astros.
But hey, we'll catch you later, bro. Talk. We love y'all. See you on the next one.
Yeah, yeah.